I'm Joe Eliot from Def Leppard, and this is The First Time. The first concert I ever attended was at the Sheffield City Hall in 1971 as an 11-year-old kid, and I saw T-Rex. I'd never been to a concert before. I'd seen people playing on TV, and I was absolutely shocked at the noise in this place and how big in 1971 the Sheffield City Hall looked. Cut to 9 years later, we played there, and when I went down for the sound check, I stood where Mark Bolan stood and looked back at where I was stood watching Bolan 9 years previously, and I couldn't believe how small the place looked. It was incredible. The phrase, the name, the two words Def Leppard first came to me in school in 1975. I was in art class and I begged the teacher to please, can we stop drawing fruit and flowers and vases and stuff? And he said, what do you want to do? I said, I want to do posters for rock shows. And he said, fine. So I started doing posters for real bands like the Beatles and the Stones and Thin Lizzy and stuff. And then eventually I started making names up, and Def Leppard was one of them. It just sounded good. It was spelt correctly when I did it. It was only changed to the misspelling that we use these days after the band formed, but I had the name 2 years before the band. The first time I ever performed on stage was miming to an Elvis Presley song in the school play when I was 11. The song was The Wonder of You. I wore a leather jacket that I borrowed off a neighborhood kid that was way too big, so I had to roll the sleeves up, and it looked ridiculous. But it did feel good being up there knowing full well that I couldn't mess up because all I was doing was miming. But that was in front of 350 kids. I think it gave me the bug. Pour Some Sugar on Me came about as the very last song on Hysteria. We had the album buried, done, finished as far as we were concerned. We'd been working on this album for 2.5 years, and we were not going to do a new song until I started playing it in the corner of the control room while Mutt was off making a coffee. And he came back in and heard it, and he said, what is that? It's just an idea and he's, right, we're doing it. Long story short, we ended up recording the song as a demo and playing it to the rest of the band. And he convinced us all that we could record this song in about 10 days, which we did. The first time we played with Rick after his accident would have been 1986. We had a booking that summer to play 4 festivals through Europe. And we very sensibly decided to do 5 warm-up shows in Southern Ireland in tiny little clubs. We started out with 2 drummers just to give him that safety net, if you like. And on the 3rd of these 5 warm-up shows, the drummer got fogged in the UK and he turned up late, so we ended up having to go on stage with just Rick, and then this guy snuck onto his kit 45 minutes maybe into the set, and none of us noticed. So I think that was all we needed to know, was that Rick was very capable of doing this on his own. The first time I ever met David Bowie was in 1990 at Bono's house in Dublin, Ireland, at a barbecue. He was playing the Point Depot, which is the arena in Dublin, or it was at the time, the next night, and Bono threw a barbecue for him. It was the middle of summer. It's a beautiful night, and I got down there, and Bono said to me, he says, come with me, I want to introduce you to somebody. And he took me upstairs to his snooker room, and there was Bowie sat on the snooker table. Thanks for the warning, Bono.